Hello guys and girls and potential YouTubers, my name is Voices from the Dark, and as of today, my channel celebrates 5 years on YouTube. I've been doing this since 2010, and every year I like to make a little sort of anniversary video, and last year I made a video where I reflected on my own channel and also made some general, mostly Let's Play advice, but is also advice that could go into other areas of YouTube, because I get a lot of messages from people starting out who want a little, tip here and there, and the other video was it was quite long. It was kind of hard to find the tips in it sometimes because it sort of had both the nostalgic ramble and the tips in one, so I'm gonna split those into 2 separate videos. So what you're watching right now is my tip video for, well, how to be a YouTuber, at least in my case, like what helped me and what I've realized during the course of these 5 years. The other video is going to be a nostalgic ramble where I go through the stages of my channel, what I did, what I thought, what my thought process was. So if you want to be really thorough, I recommend watching that too after you watch this one. But regardless, let's jump into what I think is important if you want to be a good YouTuber. My first point is that experience trumps quality. Usually when making videos on YouTube, having good equipment often means that, you make better videos. But if you have all the best equipment in the world, but you have no experience in which to use it with, then it's rather pointless. The message that I want to convey here is that experience must be accumulated over a course of maybe even several years. It doesn't really matter what field you're in, if you're doing Let's Plays or vlogs or cooking shows. Gear you can pretty much obtain in a day if you suddenly won the lottery and can buy all the gear in the world, but you can't buy the experience in which to properly use it. Imagine YouTubers like Freddy W or Corridor Digital, they make some really cool action skits and, high-tech cameras and all that. They started out using probably like 240p cameras in their back gardens, just practicing and using what was available to them. And over the years, as they got better gear, their experience level matched the current gear level, right? An example of this is that when I started out in 2010, I didn't have any proper recording software on the very crappy laptop that I had at the time. I had this. This is a JVC Pixio. It's a rather bad camera, and what I would do back in the day, because I wanted to make a video, is that I would take it, place it on top of a stack of books in front of my computer, and I would film my laptop screen. Now you might say, well, the quality of that video is probably horrendous, and yes it is. Take a look.
Hello YouTube, and welcome to my Lord of the Rings Return of the King Game Boy Advance walkthrough. So yes, now we are together with Aragorn Soldier and Aragorn himself, and I think we're gonna cut it here because we are at 8 minutes and 30 seconds.
But the quality isn't really what matters in that video. The experience I gained from doing these first videos that were really bad quality, of course, they helped me grow as a commentator, and I think in other areas of YouTube this can help you with just, your general style of doing things. The more you do things over and over, you figure out what you like, what you don't like. And I've always said that I would rather watch an experienced commentator talk on, let's say, a really low quality video in terms of resolution and all that, than watch a commentator who's completely fresh, stumbling his words, doesn't really know how to entertain, maybe eats during the recordings, play on the best gaming rig ever with amazing graphics. Of course, if you can start out with a lot of gear, that's good, but you don't need gear. You don't actually need any gear, at least for Let's Playing. As long as you talk to yourself while playing a game and try to make a good show, when the time comes that you can obtain gear, you will have a head start. It's also a very good way to figure out if you actually like it before you buy a lot of expensive gear. So to recap, don't fret over the quality of your videos. Don't fret over actually making any videos at all early on, because chances are they won't be very good. Like, a lot of YouTubers start out at a pretty low level and have to work their way to the top, and it's pretty natural. So keep at it, keep doing it, get experience, and just use what's available to you. There are of course other opinions on this topic. There's a YouTuber I look up to who once said that if you don't have the gear necessary to make a good quality video, then you shouldn't really produce anything at all. Which pretty much goes against the entire principle here. The reason I feel like this is so important and I'm preaching it so much is because if I had been told to give up after my first video because, let's face it, the quality was really bad, then we would have no Kjor, we would have no ESO, we would have none of the amazing adventures that we've had. You would have no videos waiting for you as you came home. If I'd been told to stop just because I really sucked in the start, I wouldn't have gotten the chance to improve. Everybody's gotta suck. Well, most of us. People start out and they're really good, but most of us have to suck. There's a lot of sucking on YouTube. My channel is built upon this principle, and it's built upon the videos that I made in 2010, 2011, which were often really low quality, had no really proper microphone, but it did help me develop my style, develop my commentary, which on other areas of YouTube could be something else. Experience will always be useful. Gear can be obtained in a day. Experience pretty much cannot, so hang in there, get experience, and have fun. And because I enjoy comparisons, here are a few clips of videos that are old and new, and I want you to focus on the commentary in them and how the commentary has changed, because that doesn't just come from buying a new microphone, believe it or not. It's years of doing the same thing over and over. And it's actually not insanity, boss. It's called Let's Playing.
Hello everyone and welcome to Awesome's Adventures in Minecraft. Pretty interesting world we've gotten. A lot of sand, trees and water.
Hello guys and girls, Voices from the Dark here. Welcome back to more Fear 2 Project Origin. We're down here in the subway. Things are not looking good, but at least I have a giant laser. What's gonna be the name of the neighborhood? I really should think through these things before I start recording. Guys and girls, do you want to know why Marthar should never procreate? He creates abominations, just like this one. I mean, just look at that stare. That stare you know will haunt your nightmares. Step 2. Do what you enjoy. This one seems rather obvious, but there's a lot of people starting out on YouTube these days, and considering how big YouTube is and how difficult it can be to get noticed, if you come in doing it for, well, the wrong reasons, or reasons other than enjoying yourself and having fun, then I feel like you have a very easy time of getting a burnout and getting tired of making videos because you feel like, oh, I don't have any progress. I mean, I made videos for 3 months and I only have like 15 subscribers. But if you really love what you do and you feel like you're growing and having fun, then having a low subscriber amount won't actually bother you. At least it didn't bother me, but then again, I feel like I was a very oblivious boy back in 2010 and 11. When you truly have fun with your videos and get creative, it often shines through. Remember that. Step 3. Do not let low views scare you. Making YouTube videos and not getting any attention seems like it defeats the point of the exercise, right? But most people have to start somewhere, and you often start at the bottom and have to work your way up to a level where people would want to watch you once you've developed like a personality, a certain style, something you do well, once you're more comfortable with yourself and the content that you create. And something very fun you can do is that you can go to big YouTubers like, I don't know, Smosh, Nigahiga, PewDiePie, whatever, and you can look at their first video, and you can compare that to sort of their last, and you can see just how far they've come. Like, it's a lot of work, but everybody has to start somewhere, so don't be discouraged. The start is pretty much the roughest part. Don't do one type of content exclusively. Now, this one isn't really too important, it's just like more of a side note that I wanted to add, because I've seen it too many times that a channel gets known for doing one thing and just keeps doing one thing and doesn't really experiment or reach out and do other stuff, which is totally fine if you're comfortable with that. I would just like to let you know that it can be difficult if your audience gets used to just one thing and you never doing anything else, and then the day comes that you do get tired of the content you make and you want to go and switch to something else, and you could end up in a situation where you have almost nobody watching and everybody leaving your channel, which can be quite heartbreaking. Like, I know of a channel that has over 1 million subscribers, but we get about the same amount of views, and I have like 28,000. Because he did one big series, Minecraft, and he moved away from Minecraft, and now, yes, it's actually rather depressing. So I would just like to say, keep an open mind, let your audience know that you're willing to experiment, feel free to experiment a bit so they get used to it. don't lock yourself down, because if I had been in the same position I was when I started YouTube in 2008 on a different channel, I would be making stick figure animations. So yeah. Number 5, and probably the most controversial topic, draw inspiration and influence from others. Let me try to explain this as best as I can. Observing others is a great way of figuring out what kind of content you like and which content you dislike. Now, there is a clear difference between being influenced and inspired by somebody and, you know, directly ripping somebody off. Like, what would be a ripoff would be starting your video like, how's it going, bros? My name is But if you were more inspired and you needed an intro, you could be more like, how's it going, guys? My name is GamerGuy5522 and welcome! Like, you'd use certain traits or certain moves or aspects of the content creator that you like, and you mix it into your own style. And often this happens without you even really meaning it. Like, I've been watching Cry a lot, and, you know, he has the best voice in the world. Whenever he reads and he gets to a section with just a ... he always says, dots. Like, you know, you don't have to say the dots, it's just to symbolize a pause in the talk, but I find it humorous, and it's actually stuck with me, so whenever I see, like, a ... in the visual novels I play, I tend to say dots too. And when I started my Mount & Blade Warband series, I really struggled to make it entertaining because I felt like I didn't know enough about the game, so I looked it up on YouTube, found a guy called Splattercat Gaming, and I looked at some of his videos to sort of get a grip of the game. And once I then jump into the game, I found myself using a lot of his terminology and even speech patterns at the time. And it's like a building block for your own style. Like, I imagine, let's just take Let's Play as an example, like maybe commentary. I imagine your style is like a big goodie bag. So what you can do is that you can go on YouTube, watch other content creators, see something you like, here, take it, plop it in the bag. Like how this guy narrates his stories, take it and put it in the bag. Like how this girl reacts to certain situations, take it and put it in the bag. Do you like how this guy talks to inanimate objects? Take it and put it in the bag. And then once you have all these elements, you add your own style on top of this, and you mix it all together, and poof! You get a magic potion I like to call your style. In stores soon. So the bottom line is, watch other content creators, take mental notes of what you like and what you dislike, and incorporate the elements that you do like into your own videos in a respectable manner, and don't feel bad for being influenced or inspired by others. Next point, be good to your fans. Your subscribers, followers, fans, whatever you want to call them, they play a really big role in this industry, and especially my channel has really benefited from the interaction that I've had with you. I mean, I received fan art, game suggestions for games that I would have never played otherwise, important feedback, a fiancé. So imagine treating your fans the way you would like your idol to treat you. If you have one, of course. And if you're honest and kind with your subscribers, you often get a lot back, and you often can make your subscriber base into more of a community. Now, what I mean by this is that I imagine a subscriber base to be something that Machinima has. Machinima is sort of a faceless corporation. They upload a lot of general entertainment for the masses, but it's not really on a personal level, right? But a smaller channel, like let's say the Voices from the Dark channel, is easier to have a more personal relationship to it and the people on it, because we're, you know, we're a very good size. I'm really happy with our size. We're not too big, not too small, just right in the middle. So treat your fans right and reply to their comments. Sometimes it feels so freaking good when the people you look up to reply to your comments. Oh, D, you replied. So to conclude this video, I would like to just emphasize my main points. Don't fret over quality. Focus on the experience gained by doing the activity, because that will make you succeed in the future. Not your gear. If you can start out with good gear, then by all means do that, but don't fret about it if you don't have the gear. Watch others and learn from their videos. Observe what you like, what you dislike, and fuse these elements into your own style. I think a lot of Let's Players are a collection of different influences from other Let's Players. And that's the really cool thing about it. You actually benefit from watching other content creators on YouTube. you know, besides having fun. Don't get discouraged by the low views. A lot of people start out like that and they have to endure hardships. You know, the 99% of us who don't get big by a big viral hit or are helped by another, you know, big channel. We have to start from the bottom, and it might be a lot of work with minimal payback early on, which is why it's important that you have fun. Otherwise, you're just gonna get a burnout and you're, you know, gonna delete your channel. I've seen it way too many times. People come to me all excited about the channel, do it for a month and then quit. So I've become quite cynical when it comes to people starting new channels, which is why I would just like to make this video. So instead of having to type all of this in personal messages all over the place, I can now just link them to this video and bada bing bada boom. Be yourself and prepare yourself for a lot of hard work. But if you work hard and long enough and you enjoy what you're doing, then sooner or later you will create some content that you can be proud of, and that is just the best feeling ever. Thanks for hearing my thoughts on this topic. Feel free to stick around the channel for more videos, mostly Let's Plays that goes on here, but also some machinima, role-playing stuff. I do recommend that you go check out my nostalgic ramble, look back at the channel's 5 years. You might learn some things. I find it very interesting myself to see where I've been and try to remember my thought process, at least, and the different stages I've gone through. Did you know that I used to be like a jump scare, shock value horror let's player with screams? I did. It happened. Well, guys and girls, have a still good day, take care and stay awesome. But most importantly, everybody, stay dark. Goodbye.